let's get to YouTube, but let's get to know our speaker first. So who is Kai Nemzer? This is the coolest bio I have received so far, which sounds like this. Kai is a 20-year-old entrepreneur who has generated 1.5 billion views on YouTube and won Alex Hormozy's school games. That's it. That's the bio. I think it speaks for itself. There is not much more to add. The stage is yours. Blow us away. The pressure is on.
Pressure. I love it.
Let's go.
Hi, everybody. My name's Kai. Oh, it fell. Boss George is fixing me.
No kiss.
Faster, George.
There you go.
I want to preface this by saying there's a lot of information in this presentation that I prepared yesterday, and it's going to be very confusing because I go through it in a way that makes it not very boring to me. So if you want to get something out of it, I would take notes. Yeah, that's basically it. I've been told there's too much in here, but I feel like it's enough. So anyway, I'll share my screen. Everything looking good? Sweet. Welcome to the the YouTube Masterclass. Let's get started. Okay, so I have a question for you. What are these people? Gary Vaynerchuk, Elon Musk, Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, Ty Lopez, Alex Becker, Alex Hormozy, Iman Gadzhi. What do they all have in common? They all have huge YouTube channels. But why? Why would these already hyper-successful people invest so much time and energy into YouTube? Is it to be cool? No. It's because YouTube is the greatest opportunity of the 21st century, but I might be a little biased for a few reasons. I've made over 100K on YouTube at the age of just 19. I've gotten over 1.5 billion views across my 3 channels. I've made 150 videos that have over 1 million views and 38 videos that have over 10 million views. And I blew up a YouTube channel from 0 to 100,000 subscribers in 22 days to prove it's not luck. I also recently won Alex Hormozy's business contest, the school games, with the YouTube growth offer for entrepreneurs. So why do I like YouTube so much? Well, let me ask you another question first. What would it do for you to have an endless supply of leads for your business that you don't even have to pay for? To know that you can consistently and predictably turn simple videos that you enjoy making into profit for your business. How would that affect your business? How would that affect your life? What would 1 more customer every week do for you? What about 10 more? What about 1,000 more? If you're an entrepreneur, but you're not posting YouTube videos, you're seriously failing your business. Let me explain. You don't have to become famous. You don't have to sell your soul. You don't even need millions of views to make this work. My friend even made $36,000. Shit, there's an extra 0. In sales from just 2,000 views. So if you want to take your business to the next level, there's no better opportunity than YouTube content right now. Let's take Hormozy, for example. This guy, you guys might know his face. 4 years ago, nobody knew he existed. But now, because he took advantage of YouTube content, he's now a household name and gets millions of qualified leads for his business for free. Imagine if you could give a presentation and a sales pitch to hundreds of thousands of people, qualified leads every single day. I've even turned a simple Zoom call with 30 people into $20,000, so you don't have to do the math to find out how powerful YouTube really is. And the moment that great entrepreneurs realize this, they start making content. So every social media works, but I think YouTube destroys every other platform because you can get people to see your face on other platforms like TikTok, Instagram, all of them. But you can't gain somebody's trust like you can on YouTube. If it was that easy, then Iman, Hormozy, and everybody would only spam TikTok because that's the easiest way to get views. But views don't pay the bills. Only the right views pay the bills. And that's where YouTube comes in. It's as simple as this. With longer and more valuable videos, people spend more time with you and they get to know you. And over time, they start to trust you. And now that that's clear, why should you listen to me? Well, you might be expecting some dark origin story where I tell you how I escaped the Matrix, but I didn't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just a random kid that grew up in California, and just like every other random kid that grew up on Earth these days, it was always a dream of mine to become a successful YouTuber one day. But I thought it was kind of stupid and unrealistic, and that I should probably just go to college and get a job like my mom expected me to. But lucky for me, I didn't like listening to my mom, so I went after it anyway and began studying YouTube full time. And after thousands of hours of studying and trial and error, I finally cracked the code. It was the thick of COVID in 2020. And I was getting lonelier by the minute. Sorry, I should look sad when I say that. I was getting very lonely. And I needed something to do. I was always an obsessive kid. I would find little hobbies, become weirdly good at them, and then move on to something else. I got into drawing, yo-yos, magic tricks, decoding the entire universe. But when COVID rolled around, I wasn't really into anything besides video games. And I quickly got bored of all the games I had, so I decided to try a new game, YouTube. So I had a vague idea of what I wanted to do, so I went on and posted my first video. It was me playing a game called Geometry Dash, a game I had been playing since I was about 11 years old. And then I posted my second video, and then my third. But as it went on, I realized I had no idea how it all worked. So instead of blindly making videos and hoping to get lucky, I got obsessed. My family and friends thought I was crazy because it was all I talked about. I spent my days either studying YouTube or, what the fuck did I say? Studying YouTube or making videos. And I was able to slowly catch on to how it all worked. I heard Mr. Beast say that you just need to make videos that people want to watch. And that seems stupidly obvious, right? But I hadn't even considered that. So I realized that since I had watched these gaming videos for so long, I knew exactly what kind of videos I would want to watch. And this taught me to get into the perspective of the viewer. What would the viewer click on? What would the viewer watch? When I started asking these questions, I started getting consistent views. And then I realized that even if I made the best video in the entire world, nobody would see it if they didn't click on it. So I started making better thumbnails and I started writing better titles. And by the time I posted my 150th video, I was averaging over 10,000 views per video. And then I consistently improved my skills to consistently getting millions of views and making over $800 a day just from ad revenue. So how was I able to do all this? Not just once, but over and over again, consistently and predictably. You probably want your business to become a cash printing machine, but you're not exactly sure how. Until now. So today, I'm going to show you how YouTube actually works, the full process to start making YouTube videos, the hacks you need to get high performing videos consistently, and how to sell shit effectively on YouTube. So first, how does YouTube actually work? Well, to simplify, the goal of the YouTube algorithm is to recommend the right videos to the right people. So when I want to make a viral video, I make sure to focus on these three details. Click-through rate, which is the average percent of viewers that click onto a video after it's recommended to them. Average view duration, which is the average time of the video that viewers watch. And average percentage viewed, which is the average percent of the video that viewers watch. And I noticed that the more I increased these three metrics, the more that YouTube promoted my videos. That's how the game of YouTube actually works. So if I wanted to win on YouTube, which I do, I need to make videos that get more people to click and watch than others do in my niche. So there's a shortcut to getting high performing videos, which I'll give you soon, maybe. But first, you need to know where to start. Ask yourself, why are you actually making videos? What are you making videos for? Sorry, who are you making videos for? And what is the goal? What's the ultimate goal? Most of you want to get more customers for your business, so make videos for your customers. Also, ask yourself, what kind of videos do you actually want to make? What kind of videos increase or drain your energy? And what do you genuinely enjoy talking about? What problems do you have the best solutions to? Use the answers to these questions as guidance for what content to create. Now for the shortcut. We've all heard it before, model what works. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, it already works. So instead of coming up with good titles and coming up with good ideas and coming up with good thumbnails, Just look at what works in your niche and do that. The difference is you. It's more important to be different than to be better, and nobody else can ever be you. Your personal brand is you, so don't try to be anyone else or your content will be repulsive. People crave simple authenticity these days, so embrace who you actually are, not who you think people expect you to be. There's a simple 4-step process to model what works in any niche. Step 1, find popular channels that make content similar to what you want to make, and bonus points if they are newer channels and newer videos. Step 2, copy 20 to 30 of their best performing titles and paste them into a list in some document. I like Google Documents. Step 3, ask ChatGPT to make reusable frameworks for each of the following YouTube titles and paste your list. Step 4, tell ChatGPT what topics you enjoy talking about and what problems you can solve, then ask it to give you 10 to 30 video ideas and titles with the given frameworks. Here's a live example. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Sweet. So I've got 20 titles that I copied yesterday in the YouTube niche. So how to blow up on YouTube. These were all kind of recent videos that were super popular, a few 100,000 to 1 million views. So this is a list of 20. And now I'm going to open ChatGPT. And here's the prompt. Give me 20 reusable frameworks from these titles in a simple list. So paste that, and then I want to copy my frameworks. Oh, fuck. Okay. I gotta tell ChatGPT to stop. There we go. And now it's gonna give me 20 frameworks. So how to action to achieve goal in time frame. Now these might look stupid, but you can use that for like 30 of your future videos. And there's 20 different ones. So it's like very small investment of time, very high leverage. So here's another prompt. So I help people blow up their channel and get high quality leads by posting simple videos. I especially enjoy talking about thumbnails, titles, hooks, and retention. Can you give me 20 titles using the previous frameworks? Paste that into ChatGPT, and it does exactly that. So I studied 100 thumbnails to create viral YouTube videos, how to correctly title your videos to get more views, how to hack YouTube's algorithm to blow up your channel, 3 brutal reasons why thumbnails aren't getting clicks. These are all proven frameworks, and you can apply them to any niche. So, quick hack. Yeah. The best part is that it's consistent and reliable. Also, AI is your friend, for now. So use it kindly, and say please and thank you as much as possible. Now you know how you can come up with infinite video ideas and titles instantly by using AI. So you'll probably need some thumbnails to go with that. It's still important to model what works with thumbnails, but you should also understand why they actually work. Plus, you can even make them with AI if you want. I'll show you how. So here's what your thumbnails need. They need to convey a message. So it can be relatability, it can be familiarity, it can be intrigue, and they also need to create a curiosity gap. This is one of the best concepts to understand if you want to blow up your videos. The curiosity gap is the space between what the viewer knows, sees, and feels and what they want to know, see, and feel. It's an uncomfortable itch to know what lies on the other side of clicking onto a video. Here's a bad example. I don't know if you guys know Brian Johnson. He's the guy that's trying to not die. This is one of his first videos, and I don't really care to click on it. Now here's one of his recent videos. So, why you should eat chocolate every day? You have to click to find out why you should eat chocolate every day. It has an arrow pointing to it that says breakfast. I thought chocolate was unhealthy. I thought it was candy. I want to eat chocolate for breakfast, so I have to click to find out. But if it were to say, you should eat chocolate because it raises your magnesium levels. Like, I don't give a fuck about magnesium. So how do you do this while using AI? Unfortunately, you'll have to use your brain. But not that much, just a little bit. Because I made this another 5-step processy thing for you. Step 1, think about who's going to watch your video. Step 2, think about why they're going to watch your video. Step 3, think about what they want from watching your video. Step 4, think about how you can convey that message in the thumbnail. Don't worry, I'm going to give an example for all of these. Step 5, do it. Let's say I want to make a video about how to make viral videos with ChatGPT. That would be so interesting. Step 1, I think aspiring successful YouTubers will probably watch my video. Step 2, and they'll probably want to watch it so that they can make viral videos more predictably with less effort. Step 3, they probably want to become a successful YouTuber to make money and live a better life. Step 4, I could probably convey the outcome of YouTube success by showing a realistic working YouTuber. Step 5, so this is my prompt to ChatGPT that came up with this thumbnail. So I said make a 16:9 image, sometimes ChatGPT just makes them square, 16:9 image of a man from the back in a dark room looking at his big computer screen, working hard editing YouTube videos. And then I also made the title with ChatGPT. So tell me you would not click that video. I would click it. You can also use the image it makes as inspiration and make your own. So it makes this image. You can just take a picture, ask someone to take a picture of you working hard at your desk, assuming you look very cool doing that. So now you can literally make infinite video ideas, titles, and thumbnails. So if you follow everything I've given you, you can get people to click, basically. And now you just got to make them watch. So how do you do that? Well, I've written over 2,000 hooks on YouTube and gained over 1.5 billion views in the process. But what I noticed about the top 2% of the highest performing videos is that they all had 3 things in common. The 3 things are exactly what I'm about to give you with the hopes that you'll be able to write viral hooks without even trying. See what I did there? You can always mix it up, but the principles remain the same. You have to convince the viewer to watch the video. So what does the viewer need to be convinced of? Well, I found that Alex Hormozi's framework for this is the simplest to understand, so I'm going to use it. Shout out to that guy. He's cool. This is the framework for creating hooks that convince viewers to watch your video. So, first off, proof. Prove to the viewer that you can give them what they clicked for. For example, I said I've written 2,000 hooks and got 1.5 billion views. That's instant proof. You trust me. Promise. Tell the viewer what they will gain by watching the video. For example, I said, you'll be able to write viral hooks without even trying. And then the plan comes. Tell the viewer what to expect from the video, so like a short overview. As an example, I said, the 3 things are exactly what I'm about to give you. You can switch the order of the framework and add in other attention-grabbing stuff, but the concept remains the same. Show proof you can deliver, tell the benefits of watching, and give an idea of what to expect. Now you can get people to click and watch. The next step is just to deliver. So if you're good at what you do and good at speaking clearly and don't have a boring personality, people will watch. What you'll still need to learn over time is what good looks like. So you won't get that without putting in the reps, unfortunately, and getting consistent feedback. But above all, you need to execute consistently. And YouTube doesn't give a shit about your consistency. People think, how often should I upload? It really doesn't matter. This is for your own benefit. So what I would suggest is just have an upload schedule. Once a week, twice a week, every day, whatever. And there's one more thing you should know before you go all in on YouTube. Because there's a trap waiting for you. It's the views trap. What do you really want by growing on YouTube? For most of us, if we're honest, we're on YouTube to make money, to get customers, turn them into money. So if that's you, you should know how to sell on YouTube, specifically how to sell shit effectively. For this, you obviously need a monetization strategy, but that's not today's focus. So assuming you've got your business all figured out, this is how to turn YouTube traffic into tons and tons of money. First of all, forget about views. I have 2 million subscribers and 1.5 billion views on a gaming channel. And I tried to monetize that channel for 9 months straight with no results. It was pretty embarrassing. And the moment I started helping entrepreneurs grow on YouTube, I made $50,000 in my first month. The lesson here is to be ruthless with who you make videos for. YouTubers often get swayed by the view count when really they're attracting viewers that would never buy their product. So only make videos for your target customer. And to take it a step further, we all have people that we really love working with, people that we kind of like working with. Only make videos specifically for your dream customer. The magic of the YouTube algorithm is that it recommends the right videos to the right people for free. All you need to do is make the most valuable content for your dream customers, and YouTube will go and find them for free. So remember, likes ain't cash. And if you're on YouTube to make money, make videos for your customers. But also don't treat your videos like ads. Nobody wants to listen to a salesman. They want a mentor, a coach, even a friend. Just like in a sales call, if you make your intention to help the prospect instead of have them help you, you'll make a lot more money. It's cliche, but again, you need to be yourself and be authentic. That's your personal brand. And if you want to desired situation faster, then call to action and remember scarcity and urgency. And you can join my free communities. The top link, Super School, is free for if you want to learn about YouTube and school. And then the bottom one, Quantum Creators, for people that are already making over 10,000 bucks a month. We help you for free. And that was the YouTube Masterclass. Q&A. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Any
What do you guys
questions
prefer,
in
the
the room?
banana jungle or the cherry thing or the watermelons?
The watermelons.
Well, that was a clear answer. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Like, I'm gonna kick this off. I think first of all, amazing storytelling. Like, I think the fact that people don't have questions, that speaks for itself, that I think you covered exactly what we need to do. Unless you guys have a different impression. I can see that everybody's stunned. Like Alex is still processing
I would
it.
say it was really nice. I mean, you gave in, let's say in 30 minutes, you gave exactly what ours would give you, like a cost of $2,000 or something. And it's just basically, I wouldn't say common information, it's just a clear step. It's just a clear plan to have it, just a specific plan to follow. That's pretty much it. You just find what you do. You put the work in, you put the videos, assuming they're high quality and they're not crap, of course. You just follow what you said, and then the whole monetization thing, it's coming. That's what I think. And I've been using YouTube lately here and there, but you know, the views are low, but I've seen the things now that I can improve. So I'm glad I stayed here. Actually, it's gonna help a lot, yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Thank you.
Adam, here's your mic. George had a question.
Yes. Okay, then first question, I think this is where many of us get stuck, is that, let's say that I work in a specific vertical and I need to pick a niche. Do you have any kind of suggestions for people how to pick the right niche to get started with?
Yeah, so it's the same thing about what kind of content do you create, even if you already have a niche. So it's a combination of what do you enjoy, what are you naturally good at that other people seem to struggle with, and what do you think you would enjoy helping people with? And also, like, what would you do for free? If you can find something that meets all of those, then that's what you make content about. That's like your niche.
So I've noticed when I scroll through YouTube and I see people that like obviously are converting like their viewers to sales, it's usually around kind of what you were mentioning, where it's people that teach you how to grow on YouTube or people that teach you how to start a business or that type of thing. So for example, with your gaming channel, how would you have leveraged something like that to like knowing what you know now? Let's say you were still a big Geometry Dash guy. How would you leverage something like that that's outside of the realm of, hey, I can teach you to do this to make some money?
Yeah, so the mistake I made was trying to capture the largest range of my audience because everybody that watched my channel, they wanted to get better at the game. So I made an offer that was, you improve at Geometry Dash. And the mistake I made was that all of those people don't have any money. They're like, on average, 10 years old. And so if I instead leverage my skills of growing a channel and say, I'll help you grow a Geometry Dash YouTube channel, I probably would have made more money because that directly helps somebody else make more money.
And it stays in your niche. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I have I have a question first, and then you'll make your question. I have a question as well. So I saw that you used AI to create the thumbnail. That was actually very, very nice. But my question is, when you have like a personal brand, is it better to use your face as well on the thumbnail just because people might click on it just because they see you, or are you still gonna go all out on what the AI is gonna give you with some random AI generated people? That's gonna be better for clickability.
I have a top question on that. What if you could choose your photo? Oh yeah, bring it on. Sure. Or is it even better to have your photo uploaded on the AI to create an avatar with you?
That's what Mr. Beast does. All of his
Yes,
photos
that's
are
smart.
AI.
But how? How
So
do you do
you just upload the normal photo of yours, and then with the AI, it creates you in a different scenarios. It's easy. It's just a prompt.
Where is in ChatGPT?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely ChatGPT, yeah, and
pay
probably
for
there are a couple more. But yeah, it's easy to do that.
Everything works. So it's more of what kind of expectation are you giving people? And if you are filming a video where it's you in your room and you're talking to a camera and it's all authentic and great and you're just ranting, spitting value, but it's just you in a room, even if it's a little chopped up, the thumbnail should be just you, because when people click on that thumbnail, that's exactly what they get. Now, if you have some crazy AI thumbnail there's like fire everywhere and explosions or something, and it's like super cool colors, and then they click and it's you in your room, they're like, what the fuck is this? And so it's more of setting the right expectation rather than what's the most clickable.
That's important.
That makes sense.
So my question that I came here was like, how our video with similar thumbnail and titles can compete the bigger channels in the algorithm on the feed? Doesn't they have like an advantage in a way? So what makes a small channel when it starts to compete, even if you do like really identical, close to like thumbnail and titles?
Well, you could either be different or be better. So you're right. If somebody has 1 million subscribers and you both upload the same video, YouTube's going to recommend their video to way more people. But if you have the same niche, you upload a similar video, it's the same value. If your video has a higher click-through rate or people watch it for longer, YouTube will see it as a better video, even if it gets less views at the beginning. And also, everybody's different. So like, there's a lot of different people that are into growing YouTube channels. And there's going to be some people that just want to watch like a person in like a crazy studio with nice lighting, with crazy editing, talk about the best ways to grow a YouTube channel and all the fancy tactics with sound effects and everything. And then there's some people that kind of just want to like chill out and listen to someone like genuinely talk about how to make YouTube work. It's the same content, but they relate to that style of content more. And we're also all different people. And so if every one of us creates the same length videos about the same topic and the same style of editing, we're all different people. So different viewers are going to prefer us differently. Yeah. Does that answer it?
Yeah, makes sense. I also think like of a person, like a fitness guy, like, I don't know if you know him, Sam Sulek, that is just very raw vlogs, like zero editing. And he just became massive in a year.
Yeah.
Because like people like just also like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He's also jacked.
Yeah, he's also jacked.
We can't all look like him.
Yeah.
He's very unique.
Definitely helps. But there's so many jacked YouTubers that are trying to make it through vlogs. But he had something very different. It's like very authentic, chill, laid back style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think a lot of what's hard to do with YouTube, even if we learn some of these things, is to actually execute it. So I think you've shown a lot of focus and discipline when it comes to narrowing down your niche and narrowing down customers. This is something I've been trying to do as well, because I try to make travel videos, but I always still find myself being, oh, I want to try this, I want to try that, because I like to do many different things. So maybe how, like, can you talk us through how you actually went from, oh, I need to really niche down from this gaming channel to maybe the channel that helps other YouTubers, and then even in that channel, I need to focus only on the clients who are most willing to pay? Because I think the level of ruthlessness you've shown to just focus on that dream customer is not something that is like easy to say, but something that many people would find hard to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I thought I was being persistent by going with my gaming channel and trying to monetize it for over a year, even though it wasn't working. I was like, yeah, people used to call Amazon Scamazon, and like Jeff Bezos just like went through it, and I'm just gonna have to go through all this unsuccessfulness so that I can finally become successful in this thing I don't really even care about. And like, I didn't even play the game anymore. It was just kind of an ego thing. Like, I started this, I've been journaling about it every day. I need to make this work so that I can prove to myself that I can make something happen. And then eventually I had a talk with a friend, his name's Lucas, and he actually has a successful Rocket League coaching business, which is another video game. And he told me I should stop my Geometry Dash thing. So from him, that was powerful. And he was asking me, why are you really doing it? And I realized I was kind of doing it just for validation. And so I started thinking about, what would I actually want to do? Well, I way more enjoy working with 20-plus-year-old entrepreneurs rather than 12-year-old gamers. Like, I want to have like conversations with people like me instead of like, oh, dude, you just got to like press the screen to jump better over that spike. And so, I don't know. I think it was just like finally realizing, I don't know if I have a good answer, because it's like, it wasn't that I was just totally relentless. It was just that like I knew I had the skills to make anything I wanted happen. And I had so many people telling me that I should stop the gaming thing and that I'm rowing in the wrong boat, and that if I'd simply just started selling to people who actually had money, I would make a lot of money all of a sudden. And I also really wanted to win Alex Ramos's school game. So in the span of 30 days, I made my gaming community free. It was up to $1,000 a month, but I made it free, refunded everybody, and was kind of in an in-between space for a month, and then decided I'd made a YouTube offer, and then a month later I won the school games. And that was kind of just like letting go of what I was attached to, not like being so relentless on niching down. Because I honestly learned that lesson after I did that.
Yeah.
It was more just like, what do I really want to do? Like, if everything went perfect, what would I do? And then I did that.
Yeah. Also, do you recommend going all in on YouTube, like quitting your job and just going YouTube?
Yeah, probably. Like, live in a tent, just like get like some Wi-Fi.
Or put your tent somewhere close to Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Somewhere close, yeah. Or like Starbucks. Yeah, no, YouTube, like I wouldn't expect an immediate ROI on YouTube. You need to like really know what you're doing, or pay a YouTube mentor like a lot of money to like get fast results. Slight manipulation there. But yeah, like there's way faster ways to make money than YouTube. Just long term, there's nothing more powerful than YouTube, in my opinion. So fast results, paid ads, outreach, those just don't compound over time. So you're never gonna build goodwill by running paid ads, but you will on YouTube videos. That makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
So yeah, so I wouldn't like leave all of your income sources all of a sudden to go all in on YouTube, expecting that to all of a sudden make money.
Yeah.
I would build it up on the side, for sure.
And aside from, sorry.
I have a question. It might be a little bit more personal, but so I just started my YouTube channel, and I'm obviously in the beginning phases. So to gain like reputation and to introduce myself, I really want to share my life journey and what I've gone through. So like hearing all of your frameworks, that's all like really great, and I resonate. And I'm sure that this will work like I'm sure that like, later on down the line, like this is what I would want to incorporate. But for the beginning stages, like, do you think that I could start introducing myself without sharing the solutions, like without focusing on the solutions part in my title and captions? Would people want to engage or want to watch?
You might not like this answer. I would recommend that just to get started, but nobody's gonna care. So there might be like a few people, like I don't know if you already have an audience or So are you just going to be talking about kind of like your life story and why you're starting this channel?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to care. A few people might be like, wow, I really resonate with this girl's energy. This is awesome. And you're probably going to get some positive comments. But overall, like, it's not going to attract a bunch of people.
So be solutions focused.
I would say do whatever you want. Just get started as fast as possible. And down the line, when you start getting better and better at making videos and getting more and more views, your audience will revisit those past videos and be like, whoa, this is like her actual story. Like, these were her first videos. That's super cool. But right now, it's not going to get you a lot of views. So it just depends on what you want. Like, do you want really fast results, or do you just want to get started on YouTube?
Okay, something I'll ponder on. Thank you.
Just one quick question from the audience. Someone is asking how to become more relatable, connect better with the community, and be a better leader. What's your take on that?
Stop trying, I think. I feel like I'm a good person to give advice about this because I'm very introverted and have always had extreme social anxiety. At the beginning of this presentation, my heart was beating. I was like, oh my God. She was giving me advice like, no, just relax. Like, oh, I'll just relax. Yeah, good advice. But what my dad told me was the best piece of advice I ever got. We were going to some like outside party or something. I didn't want to go. My dad's like, why don't you want to go? And I was like, well, people are going to expect me to be like all friendly, and I just don't really care, and I don't want to have to act a certain way. And my dad told me, you don't have to. Like, you don't have to be a certain way at all. And I think trying to be relatable is really stupid because people relate to authenticity. They don't relate to, like, I don't know. I can't even try to be professional. But yeah, if you try to meet what you think other people's expectations of you are, then you're gonna be, what's the word? It's a little harsh. Repulsive, yeah. You're gonna be repulsive. People don't like that energy because they can feel the fakeness. Like, the more you can just be yourself and like mess up and like start a word and like, people relate to that because nobody talks perfectly. And nobody, when they start making content, is going to be the most relatable person and the best on camera and do everything correctly. Like, you just have to have like a little bit of patience with yourself and kind of compassion that you just are who you are, and accept that not everybody's going to like you, because you can either try to be accepted by everybody and come off boring, or you can just be yourself, and some people are going to dislike you, but some people are going to love you. And so that's just a choice you have to make, I think. That make sense?
Oh yeah, totally. I think that's the best answer that you can actually give to this question. The person is actually clarifying what he meant by that is that I meant talking about your mistakes and stuff. What do you think?
I'm not sure I understand, like, how to be more relatable talking about your mistakes. I think just be honest. It's like the same kind of thing.
Yeah, I think you already answered that. Authenticity, be yourself, and just share. On this topic?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm into fitness. Basically, I'm an online fitness coach. And what I've seen the 3 years that I've been doing this kind of work online is that in my first, I would say 1 year and a half or something, I was trying to copy what others were saying pretty much. I was just taking the same topic and I was just putting, a few words here and there just not to make the content the same. And it didn't work. And the thing I've realized that these things didn't work is because it wasn't me. It wasn't Alex. It wasn't the guy that was talking about these things. When I realized that and I stopped doing all of these random 3 tips here and there or whatever others were doing, and I started making content that I would actually watch and enjoy, on Instagram, on TikTok and everything, and everything changed. My life changed, my business changed, me as a person changed and everything. And that's why I got more clients, more customers, recurring clients that they're not leaving from me for like 6 and 8 months or so. And I've realized that thing, that if you become more authentic on camera, say that's what worked for me. The mistakes I've done in the past on fitness, I was talking about them every single time, and I still do. And the things I've been learning, the process I have, the journey I face in life, in business and fitness and everything, I've seen that people relate more to that than you being, of course, they see you as an expert now, that you had the whole journey you faced, but they also resonate with the journey you have. And that I would say I agree with that. You have to be authentic, otherwise things work, but I think it's not gonna work the same, if it makes sense. So I would,
Exactly, yeah.
yeah, I would add that on that.
And even if you're a really good actor and can pull it off and not be yourself for a certain amount of time, the people who are just themselves are going to be able to do it for a lot longer. And so in your business or on YouTube or in your personal life, you can't pretend to be someone else for that long without burning out.
So my question is, so you mentioned how you pivoted from like Geometry Dashing towards a better like monetization vehicle, and that was on the back of having good advice from the people around you. So how, as well as like good friendships who give good advice, how do you find like a really good mentor? Because often I think that like mentors find you through like selling their courses, selling their programs, and sometimes they're fairly useful, but in the long term, I haven't had like a really good mentor. So how would you say you find like a very strong mentor and also just a good network around you who actually give like wise advice?
For one, I would say join school.com. It's free. You can sign up for free, make an account if you haven't already. There's so many high-level people there just interested in entrepreneurship or anything, and there's so many different free communities you can join. And one pro tip is help people for free and just try to build goodwill with as many people as possible. Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah. I don't know.
And do you have a mentor currently? Do you have a mentor for like your business currently? Or?
I'm not a paid mentor, no.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have a business partner. He's spent $130,000 on masterminds and courses and stuff. So I can ask him any question and he knows the answer.
We have a couple of questions from
Water splashed
Zoom
into
as
my
well.
eye. What the fuck? I don't know.
You're good?
Physics. Yeah.
Awesome. So a couple of questions from Zoom. Okay, the person is saying or asking, did you make videos about growing a YouTube channel on your gaming channel? I'm at the same situation where I have a podcast and the monetization is helping people build podcasts. So there's a difference between the topic of my podcast and what I offer. Wondering how you combine these two.
There's a difference between what you offer and his audience on the podcast. Was that it?
That, I don't know. Just drop it into chat. The podcast is on many topics, like health, personal growth.
Is this Alex?
Yeah, it's Alex. You know Alex?
Yeah, my man Alex.
But the offer is build a podcast.
The offer is to build a podcast?
Yeah.
I would say, what I would really recommend is this is just what I would do, you don't have to do it. Create a free school community using my affiliate link. I'm just kidding. And make it for people who want to start a podcast and create a free course for them and help them as much as possible. And anybody from your podcast that is interested in starting a podcast will go there. Instead of making the ask on your podcast that kind of just interrupts the podcast and makes people leave, drops your retention. I would say join my free school community. If you're interested in starting a podcast just like this, you can interview cool people, or I'll teach you how to get amazing guests and whatever the benefits are, for free. And then by doing that, you can connect with only the people that are interested in joining. And so once your school community is at like 100 members, now you have a new audience that's just interested in that. And you can leverage that by starting a paid community or however you monetize. That doesn't matter, but that's what I would do. Start a free community and help people for free. Because that's easier than promoting just a paid thing all of a sudden to the like wide audience on the podcast.
Well, I have a question, and it's about content. But like, we talked a lot about thumbnails, authenticity. That's all great. But I mean, like, more technical as to how you make your videos, because nowadays I feel like the whole like thing on YouTube is kind of like Mr. Beast content, kind of like Mr. Beast thing, if I can say so, which is like very like fast cuts and everything, like jump in front of the camera, go out, blah blah blah, like all the time. Back and forth, back and forth. Do you think that content should be kind of like the pinnacle? Like everyone should do that in order to have more retention? Because me, myself, I have a podcast like an hour long, but that's another thing. People do love to listen to podcasts, but like my own videos, I'm always contemplating, should I just put one camera and just talk for 15 to 20 minutes? Or should I get like 3 cameras, jump like with cuts every now and then, like blah, 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 blah. Do you think that's something that is a necessity or...
Yeah, I think everybody should make Mr. Beast videos. So if you don't have $1 million to give on a game,
Beast thing, kind of like, you know, the editing style.
Yeah, no. It depends on your audience. Are you trying to attract 12-year-olds with low attention spans, or are you trying to attract whoever your audience is? Like, not everybody likes watching those. Maybe that's your YouTube recommended, but it's not mine. It's definitely not the whole YouTube thing. There's plenty of uncut videos with millions of views. It just depends on what your viewers want to watch.
Right videos, right people.
Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Didn't mean to roast you so badly.
No, I think my attention span is a little bit bad. So I guess that's why my feed is always like that.
Okay, another question from here. Any thoughts on overthinking and overanalyzing? What to do rather than taking action?
I broke up with my girlfriend, by the way. Can you help me with that? No.
No thoughts on overthinking. Stop.
Do it.
Yeah, do it. I guess what I would say, my one piece of advice, is just make it a priority. It's less about productivity and flow state and focus and more about prioritization. So if you have trouble getting to do something, don't do anything before you do it when you wake up. Like a lot of people, like, tomorrow I'm gonna record my first YouTube video, and then they go and scroll on Instagram for an hour, and then they go do this, and then they go do this, and then they do this, and then it's time to make their YouTube video, and they don't feel like it because it is way less stimulating on their brain than everything else that they did that day. So don't do anything else than what you're gonna do. Does that answer the question? Is it about procrastination, or is it about overthinking and just being anxious about everything?
Just about thinking in general.
Yeah, I mean, I do that. Gotta live with it.
Earlier you mentioned that there are specific channels that work best for monetization, and I've also been watching on YouTube like how to monetize, and everyone generally recommends more of like educating a small group of high-paying individuals. But I guess for me, I like making travel films, and they're kind of like introspective about the people I meet on the road, a different way of living, and I have no idea how to monetize this, and I that's not the goal per se, but you know, if I could make money from it and travel more, that would be the goal. So I'm just curious, aside from that niche of teaching other people how to make money, how to make a business, how to do something, are there other ways you can imagine monetizing? Or
yeah, I have the perfect answer for you. Yeah. You want to rent a big place in Bali and then have a bunch of your followers rent it out. There's a lot of different ways to monetize. So if you are doing travel content, people are watching it for entertainment. And so it's unlikely that you're gonna have something like some exact offer, like I'll get you from here to here, buy this thing, or a physical product, which is way harder to do. But if you can get a lot of views, AdSense also pays you. Like I was making $13K a month just through AdSense, and those were all 8-year-olds watching it. So, but yeah, it's much harder if you have a wide audience. Like the easiest way to monetize is your videos help a specific person do a specific thing, and then you charge them money to help them get it faster.
Yeah.
Okay, another question from here. I have a 15,000 subscribers YouTube channel teaching creative photo editing in Affinity Photo, which is an alternative to Photoshop. And I have a free engaged 150 plus member school community, which is in the top 200 discovery, but not sure how to go about monetization. What would you recommend?
So they do Photoshop tutorials, what is it?
It's a Affinity Photo, which is a Photoshop alternative.
Okay. So they teach people how to make stuff on Photoshop, or is on the not Photoshop.
So this guy has a YouTube channel with 15,000
Yes.
subscribers.
And then a school community with 850.
Yeah, teaching creative photo editing on this Photoshop alternative. He already has a community of 850 people on school, but he doesn't know how to monetize.
You gotta find, basically make a bunch of polls on school. So if your community's in the top 200, it's decently active. What I would do if I were you is make a bunch of polls on school. So ask people, why do you want to learn how to do this thing? And what's your biggest, most painful problems in doing this thing? And if you could do this thing perfectly, what would it look like? And then create a product that helps them do that fast. Like that's the simple answer. There's a bunch of advanced sales tactics, but like it's basically just like, what does your audience want? What do they struggle with? Help them like alleviate their pain and get to their desired result. I don't know how to make it simpler. I think saying more would make it more complex. Do you think that answers it?
I think it does. At least it moves something in the person to actually do it.
Yeah, I couldn't tell them what product to make and how much to price it and how to sell it, but just ask people what they want and then charge them for it.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really good answer, because what you are saying is that just understand who you are dealing with.
Yeah.
Like understand your customers. And you talked a lot about clients and customers. Who is your dream client?
Correct grammar, an entrepreneur that's making over $10,000 a month and already has business foundations where they have all of that shit figured out. Funnel, sales, delivery, like it's good, it's solid, they're getting their customers results in whatever they do, and all they need is more traffic. And they're hardworking, dedicated, they're already good on camera. If they already have momentum on YouTube, then that's the best. Because like it's way easier to get somebody from 10,000 subscribers to 100,000 than 0 to 10,000. So they're good on camera, good at talking, good at what they do, have a business that already makes money, can make them a lot more money by increasing their traffic.
Another question. I have a YouTube channel, and from a couple of mentors, I got the suggestion to improve my speaking skills and stuff like that. What would you say are the best ways to improve the skills required for camera, and what would they be from your perspective?
Do it more. It's a boring answer, but like, how do you get better at skiing? You spend 12 hours a day watching videos about skiing. Like, you take a free course on skiing, you just ski more. So another thing I would do is record videos of you talking and then watch those videos and write down what you don't like. So I do this a lot. I say a lot. I say I should probably watch my videos and then torture myself about how much I say so I can stop doing it. That's it.
Cool. Anybody else here? Nobody. This corner has been very quiet. You're next.
Okay, this is more of a lifestyle question. What would you say was the biggest shift for you when you went from doing something you enjoyed but you weren't making so much money to where you are now, where you are working with people that you enjoy and you now are financially in a space that you were not before? What would you say was like the biggest shift? Because I know you're young, so...
I didn't really enjoy it. I used to enjoy it, but when it got to the end, I was like, this isn't making me money, and I don't enjoy it. So the answer was pretty obvious. Once I just let go of like my ego of, I've been doing this for so long, I have to make it work. It was kind of just like, yeah, it was more letting go. That was the shift, if that makes sense.
Yeah, but now that you're in a space where you want it to be, what are some of the things that you're able to enjoy that somebody that in your position, that is in your position that you were before, maybe so they can relate to where you are now versus where you were before in terms of like enjoyment and lifestyle and what's next?
Yeah, so there's things you can do to make the most money possible. There's, like obviously if you want to make the most money possible, sell something to someone that has a lot of money and charge a lot of money for it. And there's probably certain ways to do that. For example, what worked really well for me to win the school games was outreach. It wasn't creating content, although I did do that. And after the school games, I thought I had to keep doing outreach, but I hated it because it's just repetitive tasks every day, all day. And that's, like, I'm much more creative and it's very draining for me to do that kind of thing. And I was talking to my business partner about it. I was like, this kind of sucks. Like, I don't really enjoy this anymore. And he was like, then don't do it. Do something else. I was like, oh, yeah, I don't have to do what literally makes the most money possible. I can just do kind of what I enjoy and structure my day around what do I enjoy? Like, okay, I enjoy like 4 to 6 hours of focused creative work. So writing usually writing. And then there's some things that I have to do, but I don't have to do outreach just because it's gonna make the most money possible. And when I was doing the gaming thing, my day was just kind of unstructured and it was full of things that I didn't enjoy at all, and it was all on topics that I weren't interested in. And so it was like waking up like, oh, I have to do this. And now I get to wake up and plan my day around, this would be great. And this is also gonna get me like a bunch of clients if I do this. And so there's still things like that I don't wanna do that I have to do, but it's not like that bad. So I think that's the biggest difference. Yeah.
I was going to ask, if you look up your niche and there's not really any creators in that niche already or good content there, do you think that that's like a bad sign that there's possibly no audience for the content? Or do you think it's still worth exploring, trying to like put out content?
Well, likely those people exist. What's your niche?
So I don't think it's very good for like the profit-centric kind of communities on school, but like non-profit entrepreneurship and charity entrepreneurship, I think it's interesting, but nobody really makes content in that area.
And what's the goal of it?
The goal of it is to make people start more charities and effectively so that they have like a high impact.
Your audience is in the US?
The US maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so I just wouldn't expect a lot of views, but if you make videos about, like, because you're basically targeting people that have money.
Yeah,
to start
and one thing though is you could definitely get an audience by like doing the viral kind of short clips of like highlighting things which aren't effective in charity and things which are effective, but I just don't think that any of those people would start charities. Like, do you think it's worth still trying to grow an audience that's like parallel to your niche, but not in your target customer, just to build up your kind of brand? Or do you think you should just have a small community?
Yeah, I just wouldn't look at views for validation of if it's being successful or not, because you're not going to get a lot of views like 5 ways to instantly start more charities or stuff like that. It's just like, if you make the most valuable content for the kind of people that are going to watch those videos, YouTube will probably go and find those people, and you'll still make an impact. It's just not going to get 1 million views, but that's
And
okay.
again, like I think, do you think this links to outreach though? Do you think that these sorts of people would be better found through outreach than content creation? And where did you do your outreach? Was it the people who joined your like free community, or?
Yeah, it was all on school.
And it was just starting a chat with them and just speaking to them, giving them tips.
Yeah.
And then how did you get them to go towards your paid community? Was it just like not expecting them to go, but offering more and more value?
Yeah, so I never told anyone to join my free community. What I did was get a bunch of people that I had connections with to buy my offer on the first day. It was $999 a month, because that's the most you can charge on school. And I got like 5 or 6 people to join the first day. So I was at the top of the school games leaderboard, which thousands of people are looking at. So then they click on my profile, and you can see my free community and my paid community. So they can either watch the VSL in my paid community and then schedule a call, or they can join my free community, and then I would DM them when they join if they seem like they'd be a good fit. And then also I would post a ton of content on school, so make a bunch of written posts and Loom video posts, and that's basically organic content on school. People just don't see school as a social media yet. But yeah, I don't know, I'm not like the outreach master at all. Like, I did it for like a month and I was like, this sucks. So
Yeah.
I don't
That's super
know.
helpful though. That's super helpful.
Yeah.
I used to work in affordable housing finance, and we dealt with nonprofits a lot. There is a younger generation of people that are now working in nonprofits that are on social media. So you do have an audience who might not necessarily have the money to start nonprofits, but that work at the nonprofits, so they can make the nonprofits better. So that might be where you start your audience, or where you kind of get your audience. Because there's a lot of people in the US that are young that want to make an impact, that end up working for nonprofits. So you do have an audience, it's just getting to them.
Here's a question. Recently, there is this talk from few content creators to become a cult leader. Do you think it's necessary? If so, what skills would you recommend improving upon? So essentially the question is how to become a cult leader.
The question's how to become a cult leader?
I just added that, but essentially like that's the question.
Okay, so.
Do you think it's necessary to be a cult leader?
No.
And if so, how to do it?
It works. It worked for Hamza. I assume the person who asked is subscribed to Hamza. So am I. But yeah, if you want to, it works. Like, people are very manipulatable, and you can build a cult in a way where it's kind of just convincing people emotionally without telling them to like drink Kool-Aid or anything weird. Nobody got that. That's okay. But I wouldn't. I would just use normal human communication, because long term that's going to do you better than like overly persuading people. It's like if you're on a sales call with somebody and you're using like intense sales persuasion to get them to buy something, but then they turn out to like be a horrible customer, that sucks. When you should have just kind of like been honest with them, and instead of trying to sell to them, try to understand them, and try to communicate with them. So I mean, maybe you should ask this question to a cult leader, because I'm not one yet, but I would say to answer the question, it's not necessary to start a cult, but I would recommend it.
I have a question.
Amazing question.
Very technical question. How about tags? Do you think they actually matter?
No.
No, at all?
No, I use them. It's gonna get you a few more search results. So if people are searching, make money online, Alex Ramosi, how to get rich.
So like, don't go big on tags, because I know there are like even like software like you can buy in order to make better tags. You think it's just a scam? It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, okay.
No, like if your video sucks and your thumbnail sucks, you're not gonna get views no matter how many tags you have. If your video's great and your thumbnail's great, you're gonna get views no matter if you have tags or not. So you might get 100 more views over time from people searching very specific things that you have keywords for in your tags, but I would just think about what your channel is about one time, and you can put in your channel settings, upload defaults for all of your videos to have a few tags, and just do that once and never think about it again. Yeah.
Okay. So question about metrics. When do you actually start caring about metrics? So let's say somebody is just starting out now, like, when do you actually start caring? How many people are watching? How many views you get? Like, what's the duration of that? So that's question number one. Question number two, what are the metrics that you actually look at and care about?
Yeah, so it's, I wouldn't look at it until you're averaging like 5,000 views, because before that it's just like, make your content better. And statistics aren't accurate until there's a lot of them. So if you look at your like retention graph, when you have 100 views, it's gonna be like, and you're gonna get no information from that. But once you're at 1,000 views, it's gonna, or 10,000 views, it's gonna show you exactly when, there's always gonna be a drop off in the beginning, but then it's gonna show you, okay, now you were probably talking about something interesting in a cool way, so the retention goes like this, and then you said some stupid shit, so then it drops again. And then you can look at that and be like, okay, I'm not gonna say this stupid shit again. And for click-through rate, it's all relative. So the wider audience you target, the lower the click-through rate is gonna be. So I wouldn't say like 5%, 10% click-through rate matters. It's more like just try to keep making better thumbnails and titles, and YouTube will show you if your thumbnails and titles and retention and watch time is better or worse than normal or the same. And so I just aim for it being better. But sometimes it'll say a higher click-through rate, but you have way less views because it only recommended it to your subscribers because the content sucks. So I wouldn't obsess over it that much, but the metrics that matter are click-through rate, which is how many people click on the video, average view duration, which is how long they watch the video, and average percentage viewed, so retention.
What's a good percentage on the click-through rate? Like,
Depends.
What would you, like, me, I'm getting like 3 to 5%, and I think that's pretty
bad.
That's bad, thank you.
Yeah. Go higher. Yeah.
But would you say like 10, 15, or?
I've gotten millions of views on 7% click-through rate. I've gotten millions of views on 20% click-through rate. Just like there's no like 10% is good.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know the answer to this question. What are the most important things to care about when you upload a video? So there's obviously thumbnail, title, description, tags, timing, frequency. What?
Good thumbnail title, because if they don't click, they don't watch. Good idea, because even if the thumbnail and title is crazy, the idea doesn't appeal to anybody, they're not gonna watch. And if the video is actually good and valuable. So if you feel like I could probably charge money for this video, Like the best sign is like, I don't even know if I should give this video away for free. That's when your video is like, okay, that's really good. And you don't have to get to that point, but if you want to make really exceptional content, then you should.
How important are chapters for long form content? Like
Are what?
Chapters.
I don't know. I add it because I think it's useful for some people. And if some people click onto a video with I don't know, they want to watch a certain part of it, then they can get to that part and maybe it'll be higher watch time because they didn't click off because they couldn't find the video and they weren't patient enough to wait for it. I would say it doesn't really affect it that much, but I would add chapters.
What about shorts? Do you use shorts? Do you see the point of them? Or would you just focus on long form? Would you still chop it up? Or what's your take on shorts?
I would focus on long form because that's where your quality audience is going to come from. But if you are consistent on long form and can keep that improving, then I would also do shorts. Because it's going to be a different audience that scrolls through the shorts feed, but some of those people will go watch your long form content after. So I actually saw Alex Hormozy's shorts before I watched his long form videos. But that's rare. So most people that are going to be your like strong long form audience are just going to come from the long form recommended feed. But shorts are great. There's a feature, I don't know if you guys know, where you can, it's called like the related video. You can add a long form video link to a short. So you can get 10 million people to see the short and people will click on that link to watch your long form video. And if it's like related to the short, you might get high watch time on that. Yeah. So I would do that.
Awesome. Any other questions here? Everybody's very shy. Beatrice, you haven't tested anything. Okay. Well, I have a question. So, yeah, man, like you are 20 years old, and I can already see that your mindset is something that's like highly developed for your age, right? I think a lot of people get to this kind of conclusions and start cultivating this kind of mindset and attitude at a later point in life. Like, what were the things that you did that actually that help you to get you where you are right now? What did you read? What did you watch? Like, how did you spend your time?
I think it's just listening to people ahead of me and the ability to actually implement advice, because a lot of people watch self-improvement videos or how to do this business thing videos or how to improve this or read all these great books, but then they never actually do anything. And I don't do most of the advice I'm given. That's really good advice. Like my sleep schedule is still not good, but I've taken a lot of advice and actually acted upon it. And I think that's why I'm ahead of most people my age. I think dang, that was gonna be fire. I totally forgot what I was gonna say. It was gonna be so good. It was gonna be life-changing, but I forgot.
If you need a second, we can give you that.
Can we just meditate for a sec? What was the question? Was there a question?
Not mindset.
So, what do you read? How do you spend your time that help you to get ahead?
Oh yeah, it was gonna be not waiting to make the mistake yourself that everybody else seems to make. And so everybody, this might offend some people. Growing up, I would hear, don't smoke cigarettes. Don't get addicted to things. And then most people still hear that before they eventually try it and get addicted. And Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like hella vaping in 9th grade, but then I stopped. And I think it's just like being able, I think I'm very observant, so I see where people are and where they came from and kind of what they did to get there. And everybody around me was kind of like, go to college, this is what you do. But then the parents and like the adults that would tell me that, like I just didn't want to live their life. And so it's kind of like, if I do the same thing as you, like, yeah, you're still alive, but I don't want to live that life. So I think it's the ability to implement advice and be okay with not making every single mistake for yourself. Like, you can learn something without having to like fuck up yourself, I think. It's much better if you fuck up yourself, because then it's like, okay, yeah, that was actually a really bad idea. Don't drink and drive. But some people really need to drink and drive to learn that lesson. And I don't think I do. Maybe I should. Do you think I should drink and drive? Maybe I should.
Figure out.
I also think it's the internet. And so a lot of people that are old didn't have the internet. And I was just exposed to so many millionaires and successful people and like role models that I would look up to, just giving away all the secrets. Like, hey, if you want this result, do this. If you want this, do this. Don't make this mistake. I did it. You don't want to do that. And I had that luxury of getting access to all of those people. And then it was just about my ability to kind of believe it and implement the advice, I think.
Well, I think, again, you proved it, again, that you're a very deep thinker. As we are coming close to the end of this session, sorry guys, we are not going to have the time to answer all of that right there. But if there is one piece of advice you would like to give everyone who is here listening to you today, besides just do it, like what would you recommend them to do?
So many different things. I would say question all of your beliefs, because we can all conceive the concept of infinity. Like, we understand that the number keeps going. You can't ever like actually conceive what it all is. And I feel like the proof that we live in like a seemingly finite reality with the idea of infinity is proof that limits are bullshit. And I think everything is so structured in a way to make us go down a certain path. And if you simply question every single thing you're told, all the advice other people give you, and even your own beliefs that you've seemingly come to believe by yourself, and be like, is this limited belief going to help me? If I walk into the street, am I going to get killed by a bus? Probably. That's an okay belief. If I leave my job and follow my dreams, am I going to die instantly? Why do I feel like I'm going to die instantly if I do that? That's a scary decision. But I think to get lucky, you have to take risks and at least believe that it's possible. And so I would just say, like, try your best to take off all of the limits you have in your own beliefs.
Wow. Yeah. What a way to finish. Yeah. I think this was awesome. So this is a wrap for today. Guys, attending online, subscribe to Kai, join on school, follow Limitless if you are interested in more talks like this. I think this was epic. I think everybody agrees. So thanks again for joining live and online. And dude, well, I'm so much looking forward to see you in 5 years.
Yeah.
When you're going to be 25.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Very excited for you.
You're gonna have the autograph now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Smash the like button.